You know, some things may look easy, but in fact are very, very tricky. Take parachute jumping. You've seen video, people piling out of the side of the plane, free falling, pulling the ripcord, and then gently floating to earth, right? It's a lot more complicated than I just made it sound. Mark Miller went to CFB Edmonton to show us exactly how.
Look this way! Wind 7!
Inside a packed C-130 Hercules,
Get ready!
Get ready! Members of Bravo Company are seconds from the drop zone.
5 seconds!
When the green light comes on,
Green on!
the aircraft empties in just 40 seconds. It's all perfectly synchronized, but the science of getting soldiers safely on target takes a major effort and months of training.
In our line of work, we have to ensure that we're on target on time.
Go! Go!
A jumper's journey begins on the ground
Prepare for a tree landing!
at CFB Edmonton. This is the Parachute Simulation Room for the PPCLI 3rd Battalion.
This is the mock-up for the C-130 aircraft, the Hercules. Just relax.
With over 1,500 jumps under his belt, Master Warrant Officer Andy Hulen is one of the battalion's jump masters.
Some guys, experience a little bit of anxiety, maybe, when they exit the aircraft for the first time. But for a lot of the veterans and the old dogs, it's just another day at the office.
To get 40 soldiers out of an airplane quickly and safely,
Okay, hook up.
the Army still uses what's called a static line system. Each paratrooper static line
Stand by!
is connected to a cable on the aircraft.
Go!
So as they leave the door, the chute opens automatically.
The snap fastener is going to grab the deployment bag, just like that. And his body weight pulls out the suspension lines in order. Now the canopy itself starts to pull out of the canopy. The deployment bag, static line, and snap fastener remain attached to the aircraft. The jumper and his canopy now start to descend towards the earth.
Everything is supposed to unfold in less than 4 seconds. But if the main chute fails,
You have a complete malfunction.
jumpers must instinctively pull their reserves. Paratroopers also have to perfect their landings. To avoid breaking bones, they practice hitting the ground first with 5 key muscle areas.
The balls of the feet, the calves, the thighs, the buttocks, and then diagonally across the back.
It's 5 hours before another training jump.
Starboard side!
40 paratroopers line up in the order they will sit on the Hercules.
This will be my 12th jump.
This will be my 11th jump. Nervous, but happens all the time.
He's too loose.
As jumpers rig their equipment,
He's done good so far.
the jump masters scrutinize each soldier's kit for any potential malfunctions.
Is that when you hit the ground, you're expected to do a job. And if the equipment's not serviceable, you're not going to be any good to the rest of us when we get there.
Each static line jumper wears a parachute known as the CT-1.
35-foot parabolic round canopy.
The CT-1 is designed for mass drops at altitudes as low as 800 feet.
You can fill the air with parachutists.
Stand by! Stand by!
You can get a lot of guys on quickly from a low altitude, by day or by night.
With parachute, weapons, and equipment combined, paratroopers jump with an extra 100 pounds strapped to their bodies.
Aircraft approach will be north to south.
Today's mission, jump from 1,250 feet into drop zone Buxton, an area only 2 kilometers long.
Move now.
But as Bravo Company heads to the airfield, the jump is in jeopardy. There's an ominous prairie sky, and winds are well above the 13-knot limit for jumping. 2 hours before jump time, paratroopers put on their game faces. Check gear once again.
You're okay, jumper. Have a good jump.
You guys are in for a trip.
Bravo Company loads in proper jump order.
Rolling now.
Soon the Hercules is in the air and inbound for the drop zone.
They have so many other things to think about that you'll be out of the plane before you realize that you should have been nervous in the first place.
Okay, the ramping door's coming open. Before the static line jumpers go, the C-130's back ramp opens up and free-fall paratroopers, including Jumpmaster Hulen, make the high-altitude leap into the drop zone.
3 jumpers away.
Wind's about 7 knots like this. It's pretty favorable conditions. Not bad at all.
On the ground, weather conditions are sent back to the aircraft.
I'll give them the wind direction and the speed in knots.
On the final pass over the drop zone, a device called a wind drift indicator is launched from the aircraft. The WDI descends at the same rate as a jumper.
See it floating down right now.
Tells the aircrew how far they will drift off course.
The drop zone controller on the ground is going to tell him 6 o'clock, 400 meters, or 4 o'clock, whatever the distance is.
So that when the jumpers do dispatch, they drift onto the actual center of the drop zone.
Stand up! Get ready! Get ready!
With all the data in, the jumpers are signaled to hook up.
1 minute warning.
Hook up!
Everybody removes their snap fasteners and they hook it up to the anchor line cable.
In the final moments, all eyes are on the Jumpmaster and the man in front of them.
Check your equipment!
And this is the last confirmation that the Jumpmaster receives from the jumpers that they're all good to go.
The navigator makes his final calculation,
250 right, 700 short. 250 right, 700 short.
position the aircraft to get the jumpers on target.
7 knots. 7 knots.
Finally, the winds look good.
5 seconds.
The red light turns to green.
The Jumpmaster drops his arm, and then all the jumpers start to leave the aircraft.
They exit both sides of the aircraft. Jumpers are spaced about 70 meters apart.
The jumpers have to have good, strong exits to ensure that they don't collide with the guy exiting from the opposite side of the aircraft.
It's a clean exit for all 40 soldiers.
Get the job done. That's what we always do.
Falling at a rate of 1,000 feet per minute, the troops are all on the ground in just over a minute.
It's extremely satisfying when we can safely exit the aircraft with all the jumpers and hit the drop zone, ultimately so we can carry on with the mission.
Now the fun's over. How was it?
Good.
The final task, they move to the drop zone rendezvous site.
Port, starboard. Port.
Today's jump is a success, but the paratroopers pack up and start getting ready to do it all over again tomorrow.